Whittier Plan Commission meeting for Thursday, April 10th, 2014 is called to order. Please rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Secretary, would you please take a roll?
Commissioner Dorband.
I'm here.
Commissioner Johnson, I am here. Commissioner Powers.
Here.
Commissioner Schaaf.
Here.
Commissioner Stilen is absent with prior notice. Commissioner Zangara.
I'm here.
And Chairman Raffato.
Here. Mr. Jennings, any changes to the agenda?
There are no changes this evening.
Okay, great, thank you. Citizens' concerns and comments at this point, at this juncture, is there anyone in the audience that wishes to speak to any concerns other than the items for review tonight? No. Okay, great. We'll go to consent items. Docket number SCBA 14-8, El Alamo Mexican Grill, 558 North Wolf Road, appearance approval of wall sign. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Dorband, second by Commissioner Johnson. Mr. Secretary?
Commissioner Dorband.
Yes.
Commissioner Johnson is yes. Commissioner Powers.
Yes.
Commissioner Schaaf.
Yes.
Commissioner Zangara.
Yes.
And Chairman Raffato.
Yes. Items for review, docket number PC 14-3, Cedar Run Clubhouse, 601 Cedar Run Drive, minor site plan and appearance approval for a building addition. Mr. Jennings?
Thank you. This item was in front of you a few weeks ago. There were several questions posed to the petitioner at the time relating to the overhead doors and some of the exterior building materials. You received an update to the application, and the petitioner is here tonight to answer any additional questions.
Great. Petitioners? Great. Thank you.
Hey, folks.
Could you give your name again to the...
Robert Sher. S-H-E-R.
So would you like to explain the required changes that you made to this?
Sure.
Please, thank you.
Yeah, first thing I want to mention, I reviewed, Luigi had sent me the link, and I reviewed how much concern everyone has for Cedar Run and your intention to make sure everyone has a safe, enjoyable use of the space. So I appreciate everybody participating to give us your feedback. And especially Ms. Dorband, I understand there's a lot of concern about that. And the pool opening is very important. I want to address that, as this is one of the things that we are spending a lot of time to accomplish for this summer. There was a homeowner change of leadership, and in September of 2012, is when we finally were able to accomplish to be self-governed. And we actually talked to a gentleman by the name of Fred. He was an expert in the pool business, and he had explained to us that there is a serious problem after he did our closing procedure for this winterization. And he suggested we keep the pool about half full, just to make sure that there's no damage going to come to the property and nobody going to get hurt. And he suggested we keep it full for a year's time and see if any of the water goes down. The following year, we did find out that the water went up a little bit. We then contacted a local expert who is in the business of repairing the pool, and she explained to us that the best thing to do is try and repeat the process. If it turns out that under a full load that there's not going to be any damage to the property and nobody going to get hurt because the full load, the pool can crack. Then if, again, there's no issue with that, then there's no reason to not reopen the pool. So we follow her instruction. Yeah.
So is your plan to open it this summer?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we actually don't want to just open the pool. We're getting a new pool motor. This project is very important for the homeowners. We want to make sure everybody has enjoyable use of the clubhouse space, which is a common area for everyone. We already contact a landscaper who's going to redo all of the front entrance, going to have nice flowers everywhere. And then we contact the pavers who are going to fix all the potholes. It's going to be really grand opening, you know, and we actually this year I talked to a plumber by the name of Andre, who specialized to fix a plumbing leak like we have in Cedar Run, and he said it's really not of any consequence, and he advised us not to do any telescoping, not to do any digging to replace the pipe. He said this because the pool structure is intact, is the most important thing we can reopen. So this we appreciate everybody's feedback, and the garage doors, right, idea. We actually try to be following the new way that the City of Chicago businesses do it. It's very, very modern, and we thought maybe a lot of cafes and restaurants have it, that we want to do it that way. And they also have sprinkler system. They found a way to make it work, so they can have both open feeling. But we know that maybe having a garage door and a wheeling right now is this conservative area, and maybe it's not going to go with the right fit for how it looks. So we leave that alone. Maybe we can look at that at some point, maybe decades past, but right now I think is a good recommendation. Keep everything homogeneous and for everything to look presentable. Yep.
And I could touch on some of the other points in terms of the design of the second floor addition since we last spoke. So as Robert was leading to, we are now going with a standard sliding door, as you would see, you know, on most patios. It's that type of doorway. And then we're proposing a white railing, so all white wooden trim to match the main building. And so if you look at the picture there, if you look at the sliding door with that railing, it's mimicking the main building with the balcony and the double door. So we think it's a really good match to the main building. And as was mentioned last time, we are continuing the siding design, which the contractor will go ahead and we're going to make sure he matches it during the procurement phase when he goes and gets the materials. And also with the roofing, with the shingles, same color, same style. Actually, we're calling for the same roof slope. Those were the major design elements that were mentioned last time. Also, we have laid out an intent for the fire protection. I know that was a big issue last time.
And by the way, I agree entirely with that. You know, we don't want anyone to get hurt in a fire. We want to have modernized the sprinkler system. And I don't remember whose recommendation that was, but it's definitely a good idea. We appreciate you mentioning that.
And so we have gone out to engineering firms to start to get prices on what it would take to, sprinkler and pipe the whole building, as was requested. So we're in the negotiation phase there with some consultants. Those were the major items that we hope to address based on the comments from last time. So are there any more questions?
Great. We'll take it from there. Thank you. Let's start with Commissioner Dorbin.
Well, it appears that you've gone a long way to try to meet all of our expectations, and I certainly appreciate that. I think this is going to look very, very nice. I'll be happy to walk back and forth to see it.
We'd love to have you there.
Have the residents been notified that the pool will be reopening?
Yeah, we actually had a homeowners meeting, and we had everything on a slideshow, and we had a lot of Luigi's work. People were very happy. We had a clapping in the end. Everybody's very excited about this.
So you mean I can continue to walk my dog that way?
Yes. And actually, we contacted the local places. There's some place, a GameStop or something like this. Anyway, we're going to have TVs there and video games. So we're going to, part of the grand opening is people are going to have a chance to, play video games, and it's going to be party favors. It's going to be really, really great for everybody because, last year when we were under the instruction to keep the pool closed, we did give everybody opportunity and gave everybody money to go to Park District. We really sympathize with people, so we give people money to go and still have opportunity to enjoy the pool. And we're glad that that part is over. We can get that. So definitely more than just walk the dog, come by and enjoy some of our food or have barbecue. Is going to be nice.
I'll be looking forward to the changes. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for your concern.
Commissioner Powers.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I saw you brought some material samples. I guess what I just wanted to ask is, you feel confident that you'll be able to match the materials that's in the existing structure, the additional have similar material and color and all of that? You feel confident with that?
I feel really confident, yes.
Okay. I think it's going to be really nice, and I really appreciate you did a lot of drawings, a lot of different views on that of the elevation. So I really appreciate that because you can see exactly what's going on. So it looks like you definitely went through a lot of work, and I wish you good luck.
Thank you. We have a lot vested in this, and everybody's participation. We want everything to go without a hitch, and the occupancy was very important. I think you'd mentioned the occupancy, if my memory serves me. Correct me if I'm wrong. But having the sprinkler system there is also going to obviously save life and preserve the property. We're going to spend a lot of money on this, and the Cedar Run is just now come to the point where we have some assets and some savings, and we really want to protect that. So that's what we intend to do.
I have nothing further.
Thank you. Commissioner Zangar.
Basically, I just have a couple things. One, just suggestions. I think everything else is great. Everything looks great. I would suggest to throw a 1 or 2 ceiling fans in there.
Okay.
Just something, I went through the plans I saw. I think just
That's a good
getting
idea.
air movements.
You know what? That's a good idea. When we have homeowner meetings, sometimes we have 70, 80 people. Even when the window's open, it doesn't move. The air doesn't move. That's, yeah, if you don't mind writing that down. Yeah.
And then my only, just a question, and I'm probably getting more detailed, is are those windows in the slider, is the slider at grade or at the floor level, or is it up 10 inches? And the only reason why I ask that is the one elevation shows the door with the stair lower than the sliders.
So are we looking at the middle picture?
The top one.
The sliding door is to align with the top of the windows.
Windows.
Kind of where we had it drew, just where a person would stand at that, at that elevation. And yes, the door to the existing stairway, that is at the floor level, so it is a little bit lower than the sliders. The sliding, it's basically a sliding door, but it's kind of acting as a window.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure that from the new to the existing, the heights will all be the same. So you won't see, if you're looking at the elevation, the height of this new window, the top of it will be, at the same level as the existing.
Yeah, we could line up the
Yeah.
tops of the window. I'll mark that.
That's really it. Just something I saw out of my eye. But those were the 2 things that I had. I really think, like you said, you get people in there. We've had issues in here we talk about hot and cold.
Yeah.
Get hot in there, and you just want to move that air around.
Yeah, thank you.
So that's all I have.
Thanks.
Commissioner Schaaf.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I actually have no other comments other than it looks good, and good luck.
Thank you.
Commissioner Johnson.
Thank you. I appreciate the work you guys have done now, and I have no further questions. You covered everything that we talked about last time, so
Thank you.
that's it.
Thank you. Mr. Jennings, were there any, excuse me, any conditions that we need to discuss?
No, not based on what has been submitted at this point.
Okay. All right, so So and fire department's okay with everything, and we're good to go?
Yes, there was nothing additional.
Great, okay. So do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second?
We have a motion by Commissioner Dorban, second by Commissioner Powers. Mr. Secretary.
Commissioner Dorban,
Yes.
Commissioner Powers.
Yes.
Commissioner Johnson, I say yes. Commissioner Schaaf,
Yes.
Commissioner Zangara.
Yes.
And Chairman Ruffado.
Yes. That's it. When are you going to start?
Actually, we've been getting bids, and it's been a very lengthy and kind of stressful process. And we're laymen. I mean, you're all very professional, right? So you would, when you see this, you totally know what you're looking at. But this is not our field, so we're trying to figure out the best way to approach this. And the board going to spend a lot of time to review. As soon as we have a good competing bid, obviously we want to make sure everybody's in full compliance. We don't want anyone to not follow the code compliance. And then with any luck, we'd like to get everything rolling within a couple of weeks. But I don't know what the approval process is. I think it has to go through building. I'm not sure.
This is a building permit review with the village. You can do that simultaneously. We would need the contractor by the end, though.
Oh, great.
Well, Brooke has something for you to sign.
Okay.
Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good. No.
Ready?
Yes.
Calling docket number 2014-6 and SCBA 14-9 Subway 743 North Milwaukee Avenue, special use site plan approval for a restaurant and appearance approval of wall signs. Mr. Secretary.
Docket 2014-6. Bhavik Patel, contract lessee and franchisee of Subway, seeking special use site plan approval as required under Title 19 zoning of the Wheeling Municipal Code, Chapter 19-05, Mixed Use and Overlay Districts, Chapter 19-10, Use Regulations, Chapter 19-12, Site Plan Approval Requirements, and associated sections in order to establish a sit-down restaurant at 743 North Milwaukee Avenue, which is zoned MXC, Commercial Residential Mixed Use District. Standards for a special use. A zoning special use as defined in Title 19 of the Village of Wheeling zoning is a use of a parcel of land that requires review and consideration before approval due to circumstances or effects on the surrounding properties that may adversely affect them. In order to be considered for a special use, the petitioner is required to demonstrate through testimony to the Plan Commission at the public hearing why their request meets the conditions of the village code, including but not limited to how the proposed use will not damage the enjoyment or use of the surrounding properties. Prior to the public hearing, the petitioner provides written statements meant to show that their request for a special use meets the standards established in Title 19. The Commission chairperson will typically direct that these statements be entered into the record without a full reading of them at the hearing. Based upon the testimony and supporting material submitted, the Plan Commission will make findings in support of or against the petitioner's testimony and report those findings to the Village Board. Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Mr. Jennings?
Thank you. There were a couple of items in the staff report. I believe that the petitioner will likely address these during the presentation. So what I'd like to do at this point is open the hearing to the petitioner.
Great. We can have the petitioners come up. Will you, I assume both of you will be speaking tonight?
Yes, sir.
Would you please raise your right hand? You swear the testimony you give tonight to be the truth?
Yes, sir.
Great. If you could give your name and business address to our secretary, that would be great. Or a card, if you have a business card. You too. Great, thank you. So the floor is yours. If you can explain what you're presenting tonight, that'd be great.
Good evening. My name's Tim Ryan. I'm here on behalf of Subway Development. I'm also a franchisee, and we're looking to open up a Subway right next to PostNet. And I personally actually applied 5-10 years ago when the center was first opened, and I was declined because you're looking for something a lot more fancy than just your typical Subway. And Subway just came out with, it's called the Metro Decor, and it's very, very nice. I personally opened up a brand new store in the city of Arlington Heights. It was the former 7-Eleven. I just opened up a store with the new Metro Decor in Mount Prospect across from the train station. I relocated the older store a block up. We opened up a store in Des Plaines with the Metro Decor, and I should be opening up next week. I have one in construction in Rosemont over by Higgins and River Road. And the customer village response has been outstanding. Not that we're Panera Bread, because we're certainly not. It's a step closer towards that, and it's not just a little sandwich shop anymore. I think they really, really did a great job coming up with this. I don't know if you've seen the pictures of the stone wall, and yeah, there it is. Just really, really fancy, and same food, but the atmosphere is somewhere people can, we have the free Wi-Fi, and just enjoy yourself and kind of hang out a little bit, and yeah, it's just a nice atmosphere. And personally, I think it's a addition, to a neighborhood, and it's been very, very well perceived.
Any other comments, sir?
That's about it.
Okay. This is a public hearing. Is there anyone in the audience that wishes to speak on this on this docket? Nope. Okay, great. We're going to start with Commissioner Powers.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Did you ever get an answer? I know you were going to ask about outdoor seating. Did you ever come up with any kind of resolution to that? Will there be outdoor seating? Will there not?
As of right now, there probably,
If you could speak closer to the microphone, that'd be great.
as of right now, there will not be outdoor seating.
Okay.
But per my knowledge, we will be having a Dunkin' Donut next to us.
Okay.
In future, we will work with the landlord and see if we can do any sort of outdoor seating.
And Andrew, if they, as far as this goes, we approve it with outdoor seating. If they decide they're going to want outdoor seating, did they come before us again for that, or how does that work?
Sure, there's the code, in an effort to encourage outdoor seating, has a different review process to add outdoor seating after the fact. It would be a fairly minor review. Just to follow up on what the petitioner said, the Dunkin' Donuts that is being proposed in the unit to the north of this requires some site work, exterior site work outside of the building. The conceptual plan for that does create a shared outdoor seating area for these units. So if that pans out and that business is ultimately approved, there would be a larger outdoor seating area potentially. If not, this petitioner would have the opportunity to add the 2-seat tables in front.
Okay. Another question is trash container. I saw the property to the north of you, I guess where the Dunkin' Donuts is going to be, there was a trash container. Will would we require them to have a trash container out in front of their establishment if they didn't have outdoor seating?
If they did not have outdoor
Yeah.
seating,
Or should we require them one way or the other to have a trash container? I'm not
I
sure.
believe the center actually has a few
Mm-hmm.
placed out there now. I don't know how much of an issue it's been since the center, for the most part, has been vacant. There's the Experience Salon, which is no longer there. The new businesses that is opening down at Spears Bourbon. So I don't know that it's an issue. If they were to come back for review on the outdoor seating, I would anticipate that would be included with it.
Okay. The last, go ahead.
If there was outdoor seating, Subway headquarters would require there to be a garbage can. You're
Okay.
talking about like not in the back, you're talking about in the front area, like little trees or something. Subway would require that.
Okay, and the last question, and near and dear to my heart, I know since this was an upscale area, I know the trustees asked for an upgraded sign, and I know you kind of, I assume you went to corporate and they said no. I've seen the Subway Cafe concept and they have an upgraded sign, but it looks like the Metro concept does not.
I could speak to that. The Subway Cafe was a test program, and they had the exact same equipment that a Starbucks would have, and they had a big bakery in there, and at the end of the day, we're not a Starbucks, and we're not a big bakery, and that whole program has been scrapped.
So can I ask, out of the other Subway Metros that you have opened, did any of the other municipalities ask for a different sign?
No, sir.
Okay. I have nothing further.
Commissioner Zangara.
Thank you. I'd just like to say, I mean, I've seen the one in downtown Arlington Heights over there. So, I mean, it is a beautiful concept. I really like the upgrade. I think it'll fit very nicely. I guess the question I have, and it wouldn't be to you, it'd be to staff here regarding the center itself. Now that we're putting more, and I hear Dunkin' Donuts is coming in. And then when we talk to Bourbons with the whole bike rack, is there enough? Would we have to go back to them for any additional? Just for that sake, if it's on one side of the building and now they're...
The commission can certainly take a look at that on a case-by-case basis and suggest that the code requirement relates to changes to the parking lot,
Okay.
additions to a parking lot. However, when a use changes, you also have the opportunity to recommend it be part of what the village board reviews. So there are a couple different ways to look at it. This particular one does not have any exterior site modifications with it. The Dunkin' does. What we can always convey to the architect working with Dunkin' Donuts that regardless of how the commission recommends on this one, that the exterior site modifications in this area should include bike racks. However the commission feels, whether on this one or on the next one, we can certainly work with the architect for the shopping center.
Okay. That's really all I had. Hopefully it goes strong because it looks very nice.
Thank you. Thank you.
Commissioner Schaaf.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Your plans look good. I only have one issue, and on my iPad, it's page 29, if you can bring that up. It's the floor plan. The one that I have is a colored version with a lot of side notes and such.
This, the iPad version is slightly different. I just blew this up and made it black and white so it'd be easier to see on the big screen.
And what I have issue with is the note that says these plans are for review only and not to be construed as final approval.
That's
They would-
actually, go ahead.
I'm sorry, did you want to speak to that?
Yeah, I was going to say that that's a fairly typical architectural note. Architects, when it's not a construction document, they typically have a note like that. If it's a construction permit drawing, it will say for permit. The distinction is if it's for a review such as this versus a permit drawing. It's a pretty typical architectural note.
Okay, because what I'm looking at is this floor plan, is this going to be your final document? This is how your layout is going to look like.
That's how we would like it to look, but when we go for the permit process, if there's any changes for, let's say, I can't think of it, the handicap rules, then it would be altered by that, and that's why they put that on there, just so it's not a.
Okay, because
it's not been stamped by the architect.
Yeah, traditionally we have had petitioners come through, and plans change from the time that we approve them to the time that the board sees them. And this particular note raised that question in my mind.
Sure.
And if this is not going to be your layout, then I would like to know what your layout's going to be. If this is what you intend, to follow, and if you run in trouble, or if you run into things during permit processes, locations of fuse boxes and things like that, those type things, yeah, we understand.
Okay.
But if this is going to be your layout, then I would like to have it, documented that this is going to be your layout.
That is the layout, sir. But quite honestly, before we incurred the expense of having the architect do all the plans and stuff, we wanted to make sure it was going to go forward, because it's $3,000-$4,000 to get the architect to actually do the drawings and put the actual. But that's absolutely the way.
Okay, but this is what you're going to. This is what you're going to look at.
Absolutely, sir.
Okay. That was my only issue. Thank you.
Commissioner Johnson.
Thank you. We talked about it a lot when you first came here, and I don't know that I have anything really to speak on. As far as the sign, I know we're hoping for something a little classier, but I've done some research on the internet too, and there just isn't anything. And seeing what the neighboring business has, I guess we're stuck with it.
Thank you, sir.
So that's all I have.
Commissioner Dorban.
Thank you. I think the design is really interesting, and I'll be interested to see how it looks. I'm sure your neighbor, Mr. Luby at Posta, will be happy to have a neighbor.
Yeah.
I think he's getting a little lonesome over there without Spears opening, so I wish you a lot of luck. I think it's going to be a very interesting concept, and I look forward to that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, a couple of things that I have, and I'll save the sign for last. One, Andrew, the parking lot, and I'm not certain if we can put it in this or overall, but I think that needs to be restriped. Did we talk about that on Spears?
The issue with the parking lot, there's two issues. There's the parking lot that is permanent, which is the parking lot that circles the Spears area. So that's the southwest of this building. There's also a temporary parking lot. The temporary parking lot is to the north of the end unit. That was never designed for permanent use, and it has deteriorated because it's not to a standard depth. So we're working with the owner of that property, which is a related LLC, but not the same group that owns this property.
Well, even in front of the storefronts here, if that, and so that would wrap around to Spears and go head towards the west end, I think that should be restriped.
So the area.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Well, possibly even.
Excuse me. Will they be doing something different with the parking lot at the Dunkin' Donuts then, where it's raised up?
So that's one of the issues that needs to be addressed during the Dunkin' Donuts design. The drive-through has to transition smoothly into that other parking area. So the grade change, it's about a 6-inch difference, needs to be addressed. The condition of the surface needs to be addressed. The curb location needs to be addressed. So there's a few things that the owner of the property is working on.
Sorry.
Well, that's a good point. Okay, well, I don't know if we put that as a condition to, I know it's difficult to put that on the petitioner, but because they don't own the shopping center, but something needs to be done.
Yeah, we can, as a staff note, I can certainly make sure that our
Okay.
property maintenance folks are working with the owner on it.
Okay. You mentioned, Mr. Patel, you mentioned your hours, something about going to 24 hours sometime in 2015?
Correct. I'm still kind of debating to go 24. Most likely, I will probably go 24 hours since day one, because it probably makes more sense to be open 24 hours from day one than wait 6 months and then open 24 hours.
Is that an exception or more of a rule for Subway stores? 24 hours?
It's to the franchisee. It's to his option. Personally, I have 3 stores that are 24 hours. You have to make sure that the traffic is there. On Arlington Heights Road, after 8 o'clock, you might as well just close up, but we're open until midnight. I have another store in Rosemont that is by the Allstate Arena. It's 24 hours. I have a store by Motorola in Schaumburg, a lot of traffic there, 24 hours. I think he was thinking because of the hotel
Correct.
and because of the Twin Peaks next
Twin
door,
Peaks.
that he would get a lot of traffic. And if he stayed open till 3, 4 in the morning and then has to be open again at 6, because that is a mandate that you have to be open for breakfast. Sometimes it makes sense just to stay open instead of putting everything away, bringing everything back out a couple hours later. But if you have concerns about it, I mean, that's...
Well, it's just that we normally have that as part of the packet that goes to the village board, and we want to ensure, you just can't, it's one way or the other. And does anyone have a concern about them being open 24 hours?
No.
It would make sense to me.
From my research, I believe this would be the only fast food restaurant in this area that would be open 24 hours. A lot of the other fast food restaurants, such as McDonald's, Taco Bell, they all close around 10 o'clock. So this would be a great option for neighbors to come in after 10 o'clock or so.
So if we can change that to include it being 24 hours, that'd be great.
That doesn't mean they have to be open 24 hours. I mean,
Right.
if the market isn't there,
But if we say right now that
They'll know
they're-
real quick.
if we say right now that
right,
they can only be open until midnight, and that's what's in the official documents, then they can't be open 24
Right.
hours.
Okay.
So, okay. You mentioned truck delivery. You have going to have a truck, a Subway truck, correct? I think thought I saw in your letter.
There's the van that you had mentioned during
van?
the workshop
No, in
discussion.
the letter, it stated that we will be delivering to the closed by businesses for catering, but we will not be having any trucks. It'll be a regular car that will deliver.
Okay.
But we will not paint or cover any cars with Subway logo on it.
Okay, so no Subway logos, because, I mean, we do have ordinances that prohibit the use of vans with names in front of the building, so something like that occurs, it's got to be in the back. Can't be in
We
the
will
front.
be using the car toppers.
Okay,
But the car will be parked on the back side of the building.
neon signs, let's hit the signs. neon signs, what, are you planning on signs in the windows, the neon signs in the windows, and what, I think, I see some in here. In any of the front windows, are you going to have anything like that?
Be an open sign.
Open sign.
There'd be an LED open sign. Years ago, I mean, I'm going way back, we used to have neon around the window frames, and we had a big neon sign that said, "We bake our own bread," but
It's
they
not
don't,
gonna be on
yeah,
this location.
they haven't done that. And
So now to the wall signs. I too, I don't know why, I heard a couple of comments here that this is what we have to live with, and frankly, I don't know why we have to live with it. I don't know why we can't be different, why something can't be done, to push this along, to really, if you want something different, the interior is not going to make a difference, because all you're going to see is the signs, this sign here, that's just a regular subway sign that is all over. And it doesn't draw, it's not something different. And frankly, I don't think that that's, if it's going to be this, I personally am not in favor of putting this restaurant in this area. I don't think that's, I think it affects the character of this area, and I don't know why you can't push to have something else there. I really don't understand that. It's been done, so I would like, personally, I'd like to see more investigation. I'm not hearing that from the board, from the Plan Commission here, but I can tell you that the village board, as I think Commissioner Powers had indicated, the village board, and I saw the meeting, I think they were quite surprised when you came in and said this was just going to be a regular subway. And they went along with it, but I truly believe that something more has to be done. Why can't we be different? We want to, why can't this change? Why can't we have corporate come in here and talk to us about it? I understand your role with them, but I don't understand why they can't come in here and talk to us about it, and talk to our staff about this. Because it just, to me, it's like any other subway. You can, the interior looks great, very nice interior. Commissioner Zangaro said that he saw one, yeah, real nice, but it's not allure. It's not, you're not advertising that at all whatsoever. But to that point, you've got two signs. You've got this one, and then you've got the one in the rear, okay, which I believe has to be made smaller, correct?
That's correct.
But what is the purpose of that? Your back door, is that going to be an entrance? Because to me, this is really more of an entrance sign. So is your back door going to be accessible to the folks at the Westin, or parking in the back there?
Yes, it will be accessible.
So are you going to change that door? I think it's just it's hard to see here.
It'll be
It's
a
just
glass
a
door.
It will
regular.
be a glass door, just like the one in the front.
Is that mentioned in the plans anywhere?
That's a good point.
I don't believe it's mentioned in the plans. Can add that as a condition on the special use.
it's called a shotgun design. Again, I personally own several stores like that, where we're in an outlot with, let's say, a Walmart, specifically a Walmart behind, and you have all that parking, and people are just lazy sometimes, and they don't want to get in the car, drive around, park again. So if you have all that traffic behind you, it just makes sense to have that as an additional entryway. And we do it all over the city, in the suburbs.
Okay. So that wasn't probably explicit on the plan. So we need to add that. Talked about. So I just back to because we're actually talking about that back sign today. Is that visible from anything else, any place else besides the Westin and Serenella's? But if you're coming out of Serenella's, you've probably eaten already, so I don't think you'd want to have another, something else to eat. Is it visible from anything else besides the Westin?
Well, it is visible from the hotel, and then when you do go to the Twin Peaks restaurant over there, and
You might, and I know you mentioned that, but they're restaurants. So I don't understand. I don't get that logic. So maybe you can explain it to me. That okay.
well, at the later, as the night goes on, after 10 o'clock, I would imagine, it's more of a bar. You know, it is what it is, and afterwards, you do get a lot of people looking for, not an expensive dinner, but just a quick sandwich. I don't know if you're familiar with the Alumni Club. It used to be the Snuggery in Schaumburg, and that's a restaurant, and I had a store right there, and we do very, very well after 10 o'clock, where you get all the people coming out. And I could see you opposing the sign in the back if it was residential behind it. I certainly would respect their privacy and whatever, but it's a commercial area, and it's just a way for the franchisee to attract more customers, and we want Bavik to be successful. And the more we can do to help him with his success, he's going to be around.
Well, if you truly are having an entrance there, then it makes sense to have a sign, but it does have to be, oh, there it is. So it's right there. Okay.
That's the door, Andrew? That would be where the door is?
It'd be replaced though, sir, with a, regular glass door, and the way the store is designed, at the minute you would walk in, it would be part of the dining area, I guess we would
So
call
does
it.
that, to Commissioner Schaff's point, it's not reflected on this, is it?
Yeah, down.
It's on your, right,
Yeah.
that's where
So-
the entry door is.
So it kind of goes right into the
That's-
dining area?
Okay, so
And I
Well,
think in our
that's
packet on page 29, I think it's in the upper left, I think that's what the depiction is. If I see that, is that up here?
is that it?
Is that up in the back? Yeah. You look at page 29 in the packet in the upper left, I think that's where the door is depicted. The rear.
Well, okay.
It's the same drawing. I just
Yeah, he just flipped
it.
I turned this one so it would.
Okay, so to the right is a door.
Correct.
That's the back door.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
That's the back. And then the one in the upper right-hand corner, that's
Upper left hand?
upper left-hand corner. I'm sorry, thank you.
This is the front door,
That's
swinging
the-
this way.
Oh, okay.
But it doesn't strike me as a door, but, okay.
That pillar kind of
The dimension,
screwed things up there.
this is the swing line on the door. You see the swing line here?
Yes, got it. Oh, okay.
It's just, there's two things drawn on top of each other.
Okay, so that's the swing line. Okay. So if we take that and look at that. All right. Okay. So you're walking towards the past the bathrooms to get to the main. Okay.
And we do this, I mean, there's probably 40, 50 stores that are built the same way. Because it is an outlet, and you've got,
Okay. One second, let me just look. Okay, so no delivery vehicles. There's no outdoor seating, but you're going to be looking at that. Okay. Subject unit. Okay, that was really it. My concern is matching the signage to the interior and matching what you're attempting to sell. because what you're doing is I don't see any difference. And I think that it's something that if you're upgrading the interior, you should be upgrading everything, and that includes the sign package.
I respectively hear what you're saying. However, that's the Subway logo. That's what we're identified by. You wouldn't see a McDonald's that would change their logo, and they've done a beautiful job with their interiors the last 5 years. They've got fireplaces, they've got TVs, they've got all kinds of things.
Actually, you have seen them. You have seen them. In different suburbs, you have seen differences. Probably somewhere in there is incorporated an arch or something, but you have seen different signages on those places. You have. So I don't understand why Subway can't do that, or even and just to consider something like that, And I know you're in a management position with them.
Mm-hmm.
There's probably somebody higher that could possibly consider doing this.
No,
Okay?
I agree, but I mean, it's in 40,000 stores.
I know.
The way it is, and
So
to make it.
we could be number one on a different spectrum, and I don't understand why.
Sir, I respect your opinion, and the problem is if it starts here in Wheeling, then before you know it, they've got the logo. I mean,
Why not?
They've got to protect.
What's so wrong? I don't understand what's wrong with that.
Because he's paying 13% royalties for that logo, which is identified to, just like Target or Starbucks, and you go down that road, and corporate, they absolutely will not change the logo, and
Well,
I mean, it would be a contention point, and they wouldn't let them do the location.
No.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
May I ask one question, please?
Sure.
Is there a process in place that you can ask for changes?
No, not for the logo. Not.
Well,
that is.
Again, and it's not that I disagree with you, but there could be other channels that need to be explored. So, but.
May I ask a question?
Sure.
Do you have a business card?
You know what, ma'am? No, I don't. I'm sorry.
What does your business card look like?
It's got the Subway logo.
The same one that's up there? The same one?
Yeah.
It looks like that.
It's on every single thing that we do, commercial. I mean, we've got billions and billions of dollars invested in that logo.
That particular logo is on your business card. Okay, thank you.
Yep. And again, there's 40,000 stores all over the world, and more than McDonald's.
Well, we have a site there that is one of the jewels of our town, and I think we deserve something different, and I think probably the village board feels that way too. So, Commissioner Johnson, you had a question?
Well, they did change the logo on the interior wall. That would be exactly what we're looking for, is like the brushed aluminum with backlighting instead of the white and yellow. I mean,
Subway is it's an impulse. Fast food is. It's an impulse. 80% of the people have an idea where they're going to go, but not which place. And it's just, it would affect his business. And is Dunkin' Donuts going to be asked to change their colors and logo too? Because
I don't know.
actually, they did have to change their sign for us.
Yeah, actually they did. That was up in here. And so
I'm sure it's not the colors and logo.
Irrespective of that, I personally feel that we deserve more. And that's mine. I don't know how the rest of the board feels.
Again,
so.
respectively, I'm in Arlington Heights, which is a very nice neighborhood also.
Sure.
We're in Glencoe. We're in Wilmette. We're in a lot of wonderful neighborhoods, just like Wheeling, and it's
Well, we always like to push the limits here.
No, I
so-
understand, but you want to rent it out
Exactly.
too. I mean, you don't want to have vacancies either. That's not good for anybody, and
Commissioner
that
Powers,
is one
you have
thing
a
that
question?
is not going to change.
I have to agree with you, Mr. Chairman. I mean, that's why I asked the question about Subway Cafe. I mean, they actually changed the logo. Okay, maybe it failed, but yes, and that's why I asked, have you guys had the villages of the other communities you were in who had this upscale look, have you had anybody ask for signs? And, you know, if you said no, that's fine, but I think, like, I'd like to see an upgrade, as the chairman has stated, too. And I really think something could be done, and, you know, why not lead the pack, at least, you know, ask the questions, because I think in a way, if you saw a Subway Metro versus a regular Subway, you may say, well, hey, this is Subway Metro. I know it's got better decor. You know, I may want to go here versus a regular Subway. I don't know. I think some way it makes a difference, and I know the trustees asked for it. I would like to see the sign too.
Because I was under the impression that, and I saw the meeting when you went before the village board, and I think there was some misunderstanding, because I think they were looking for an upscale concept for that area, because that's what it is. And what we're getting is we're not getting anything, because you really can't see the upscale concept that you've put inside. And because you've got the same logo. I personally would like to see it explored more, but I don't know how much the Plan Commission feels about that. I'm one vote on here. You know, being the chairman I don't get 4 extra votes for being the chairman, so it doesn't really matter. So I will leave it up to I will leave it up to the board, but I'm just airing my concerns here as to how I feel about this concept in that area.
Sir, I absolutely agree with your passion, but this is a franchise of over 40,000 stores, and that were identified by that logo, and I mean, you want to rent out the space too. You know, having all those vacancies certainly doesn't help that area, and
Well, but again,
it cannot be changed. We'd have to walk away, and I don't think that's good for anybody.
We'll have to see. Does anybody else have any other questions?
I guess I do have one more question. I understand your passion about this, but it's always been my feeling that if it's on the business card, that's the way it should be. But then I'm trying to figure out how we can make this a win-win all the way around. Is it possible, the way the sign is there, having a smaller tagline below that says Metro? Is that, I mean, okay, that's their corporate logo. I have to respect that. But is there a way of adding just a small tagline, maybe down to the right and, below Subway and to the right, that says Metro? Would that give us, is that more of a win-win? Is that something?
It's the integrity of the logo that I know absolutely positively cannot be changed.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
And what you're suggesting, that we could certainly look at and find out if that's
Does that?
possible.
It could.
How do you feel about that?
I would like to see maybe an additional drawing of that to see if that's possible. Yeah, I would like to. And maybe.
I just think that, they're between a rock and a hard place here. They want to please us, but they also have to please their corporate offices. So if we could do something down there that says Metro, maybe that is a better way to go. It addresses all the passions here that I'm hearing, but it also keeps them safe on corporate level.
Along with that, to kind of promote our Metro decor, we will be using billboards to promote the interior of it, which is on Lake Cook Road. Put a picture of Metro decor on it, saying now we're open, and then on hours. So we will be promoting our Metro decor. Direct mails. We'll be doing every door direct mails. We'll be doing bag stuffers. We'll be doing a lot of marketing on Metro decor as well.
But
Excuse me, but you've got nothing in in this store to separate it. As you're going to put something like you have up there, Metro Decor, you know, there's on the billboard. And I really think you need to go back to corporate and say, we have got to separate, because this is an upscale area. And it's one of the few places in Wheeling that is upscale. And to have, like Pam suggested, a tagline, something to separate it from the subway down on Prospect Heights on 83.
I would like to see some creative ideas.
What about using that Metro, the design that you actually have up there, Metro Decor, as a tagline? Is there, do you think there's something that corporate would object to that way?
I don't know. You brought up the other store. I mean, this is what all the stores are going to look like. They have to be remodeled every 7 years. Some stores have 2 years left, some stores have a year, some have 5. But this is the new decor for Subway.
Just try to figure out how to make a win-win for everybody here.
They're all going to look like that at some point.
Well, maybe we have to start making some differences, and we're the first store. That's the way I would look at it.
No, I agree, but I mean, I
would
certainly hope that these restraints are going to be applied to Dunkin' Donuts and any other
Because I believe
franchise.
I can't speak to Dunkin'. I can't speak to the next one coming in, but actually, this is the first I heard that there's going to be a Dunkin' Donuts there. So I'm sure they're going under the same scrutiny, and if they come before us with the standard signage, it will come under the same scrutiny that this is. I can assure you that.
I believe the Postnet next door are also using their logo and regular LED instead of brushed aluminum. It's already up. It's just a corporate, and
different perception. So.
Well, I was going to make a comment along those lines. We're trying to hold them to a higher standard than their next door neighbor, because Postnet sign is not upscale by any means.
Right.
And
well, I would
have the
like
same battle with Dunkin' Donuts.
Right, we probably will. I would like to see some other ideas come out of this. So, of course, I can't.
Well, I would hope the other board members feel differently, and I certainly, again, I respect everything you've said, but I mean, it's our corporate logo. And there's corporations, there's Target, there's McDonald's.
There were some ideas here that were presented. So I personally would like to see this tabled to see if we can have some other ideas. If not, then I don't get a motion to table, then we'll get a motion to vote. So do I hear a motion to table?
Can I throw out one more thing?
Sure.
I'm sorry, I keep trying to make this work. Instead of by the sign, if we go back to I'm looking at one more, I think. Keep going. Keep going.
The other way. Back up.
Yeah, there. Okay, what about this? What about a decal that says the Metro Decor, okay, in like to go on the window, like a decal, rather than...
That we could do.
I have a question, though.
I'm just going to throw this out, because if you went with a decal on the window, you've not lost the integrity of Subway, but you have identified it as something more.
We could do anything that you would like in the windows, graphics or, absolutely.
No? I'm only a party one.
Is this picture we're looking at? I saw the other picture, and I had not driven by there.
This is
there
what
a
I'm
canopy?
thinking.
Are there canopies over there? The black canopies, or is it blank?
Just one.
Do you have the
It's
one
just
that
black.
shows their
Yeah,
neighbor?
there's
Will there be
Like a
canopies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're at
there's
this level.
canopies.
Are they there?
Yes, this
Okay.
is current.
Okay.
Well, we've thrown out some ideas. I'm personally not a fan of a decal in a window, but it is an idea. And Commissioner Dorban had some ideas for adding a tagline. But I personally would like to see something different for this area. And I truly believe that something that's going to come in next is going to, if it's that selling food, is going to be under the same scrutiny. So
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
I'd like to make a motion to table.
we have a motion to table. Do I hear a second?
I will second that.
Okay, we have a motion to table, and we have a second by Commissioner Schaaf. Mr. Secretary, would you take a roll?
I have a question, though, with that,
Okay.
with that second. Will you go back to corporate and at least ask?
When it comes to the integrity of the logo, over the years, it has been asked. They absolutely will not change.
Then maybe you should talk to staff a little bit before you do that and get some more ideas from them.
Am I allowed to speak?
Sure. Oh, yeah.
Respectfully, again, I just opened personally a store in Arlington Heights, in Palatine, in all the surrounding suburbs here, Rosemont. And again, we have all the North Shore and fantastic parts of the city. With this decor and different decors, it's never
And
been an issue.
And personally, me personally, I don't live in any of those.
I used to live in Wheeling. I lived here for 10 years, sir. And
I live here,
and,
and that's my concern.
Okay.
So we have a motion and a second.
Thank you.
Can you take the roll?
Mr. Chairman, is this on both items then?
This table, this whole.
Table is a sign document. A continuation is required. Are we talking about the?
Well, because depending upon how that goes, the special use, I would think it would have to be.
We can
So the
okay the
motion,
special use.
right, the motion that has been made and seconded is to table SCBA 14-9. That's the current motion on the floor.
What are we asking the petitioner for? If we table this?
To table the appearance of the
wall sign.
wall sign. And, well,
Are we limiting to the wall sign? Or are we asking them to do something on a window, or do you
I'm
only
asking
want,
them
I
to go
guess,
out and look for other ideas for their signage.
The note right now on I have on the decision sheet, the note that it reads, after the motion to table was made, the note that I made on this was to be tabled for consider tagline to add Metro Decor or add decal displaying Metro Decor in windows, need corporate response. That was the way it was phrased on this.
But it fits into special use.
A motion to table specifically applies to the sign docket.
Can we continue the special use? To me, they're tied together.
So the current motion, if approved, and if the consensus of the commission, if the motion to table carries, the consensus of the commission could then be to pull on a continuation of the special use.
Okay.
But if we approve the special use, would corporate maybe take a better look at it? Because the restaurant's approved, we just want a better sign.
Or it could be the opposite.
can we separate the two, just to make it more clear?
Those two are separate motions.
There are separate motions, but the issue is if we table the sign, should we continue the special use? I personally think they're tied together because if if the sign's not changing, I'm not approving the special use.
I guess my question is for the petitioner. Are you willing to go back and at least look at some of the options we've discussed?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
I don't want it to be misconstrued that I'm being difficult. I'm not.
No.
But it's a corporate thing, and it came up before we even came here, and we had our marching orders, so we'll go back and say whether you take the spot or you don't take the spot. And that's up to them. I mean, we're just a messenger.
Is it an issue? I don't think there's an issue of taking the spot or not taking the spot to this board, is it?
Me personally,
Yeah.
I think it is. I think they're tied together.
But I mean, I guess my question to you then would be, do you have an opposition to the location of this subway in this location?
Again, it depends upon the signage.
So
They're
your
tied
feeling
together.
is totally based on the signage is not appropriate for the location of this?
Right.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
So then, if that's the case, I would,
Mr. Chairman?
yes.
Could I ask one question? What about the floor plan? Which floor plan, if something goes through, which floor plan is going to the board? Is it the one that's in our packet? Are you guys going to be redoing some kind of floor plan? Because you said you didn't want to spend the money, and I understand that. But is your intent to redo the floor plan something that's different than what we're seeing, and then take that to the board? I guess I'm not understanding that.
That is the floor plan, but that's just a one-page. It's just, we call it a one-page.
Okay, so
It doesn't have all the electrical, the plumbing,
Okay, so I would
that's the
just
floor plan.
I would just want to make sure that the floor plan that's in our packet that stated 312-14 is the one that the board sees, and something will not change before that.
Is that a page number or something on it, a way to identify it?
Yeah.
Yes, sir, that, right there is exactly what the plan is going to be for the build-out.
It's page 29 of the packet.
Yes, sir.
That's the floor plan referenced in your motion as received March 12th, 2014.
Yep.
So we have a motion on the table, a motion on the floor to table docket number SCBA 14-9 to wall signs. The note on the motion is to request a tagline to add Metro Decor or add decal displaying Metro Decor in the windows with a corporate response required.
Or another idea.
Or to enhance it somehow.
Yeah. Or another idea. So we have that motion, so
Who made and seconded that?
a motion was made by Commissioner Powers, second by Commissioner Schaaf.
Okay, so,
You're up.
on the subject of tabling SCBA 14-9, Commissioner Powers,
Yes.
Commissioner Schaaf,
Yes.
Commissioner Dorband,
On the tabling,
tabling the
Of the
sign.
SCBA docket.
yes, because the petitioner is in agreement to look at another option.
Commissioner Johnson, I say no. Commissioner Zangara
Yes.
and Chairman Rafano.
Yes. So as far as the special use, Andrew,
I have, if I could just read through the conditions that are on it right now, and we can have a discussion as to whether or not to tie the two, if that's how you'd like to proceed. As it is right now, the draft motion has 5 conditions that I've jotted down from the discussion. Number 1, that the Metro Decor specifications and materials are added as an exhibit in the recommendation. Number 2, that staff contact the property owner to address the condition of the parking lot paving and striping. Number 3, that the restaurant may be open 24 hours. Number 4, that the restaurant may utilize delivery vehicles which shall be parked in the rear. And number 5, that the rear door is to be replaced with a glass entry door. And there was a question, you could phrase as a poll to the commission of whether or not this should be continued until we have a response on the signage question.
So the question is, should we continue this, repeating what Andrew said, continue this and tie this to the signs?
So
Tie it to
moved.
the sign. Well, I'm looking for a poll first, but
Oh, okay.
Commissioner Dorban? Tying it to this, so continuing this until we get a response on the signs, continuing the special use.
Help me out, why would we want to do that?
It's just a poll, though, really.
Yeah, it's just a poll.
I'm just kind of trying to
because
understand why,
As I indicated before, they're tied together. The sign, it's one, even though they're separate because they used to be under, different commissions, but they're tied together.
except that we've had other businesses come before us, we've approved them, and they've come back later for a sign.
But-
So I don't see how they are actually tied together, so help me out, to help me better understand what your logic is.
In this case, if we, and that's why I'm asking the poll. If you don't agree with that, then say I don't agree with it. We could set them apart. I personally think they're tied together in this
Yeah,
case.
I don't think they're tied together.
Okay, great. Commissioner Zangara?
I agree. I don't think they're tied together.
Okay. Commissioner Johnson?
Same here.
Commissioner Schaaf?
Yeah. I think they're tied together.
Right, Commissioner Powers?
As do I.
As do I. So that's 3-3. So what do we do there, Andrew? Do we have to
Does the chairman vote?
vote? No, yes, I do. I do.
Oh, I thought you said earlier you didn't. That's
No,
right.
I said I don't get 4 votes.
Oh, okay.
I only get 1.
Am I allowed to say something before you vote?
Oh, sure. You can say, yeah.
I mean, we wouldn't open without a sign, obviously. And if we at least got approved for the special use, then we could start the process, which, is a pretty extensive process to get the plans going, apply for the building permit.
And we are only a recommending board,
Okay.
so,
Could you put a stipulation pending signage approval with one of those 5, or just so we can at least get some of the wheels turning?
We can.
I'm just trying to,
I believe right now, because of where we're at, we have to probably take a vote on this.
So you have a few options in front of you. The signage package, the sign concept, can be forwarded to the village board for just as a conceptual material with the discussion, and the sign can remain on the table. An item can be tabled indefinitely. So the sign review can be tabled until the board reviews and considers the special use. That would be one option. The vote as it stands, a tied vote on a decision to continue, I would believe would fall under the same as a failed motion. It would be a failed motion to continue, which would mean you would then vote on the special use.
Right. Yep.
In which case, you would in effect be tabling the sign, which has been done.
Right.
And the motion to continue the special use would fail, in which case you would then vote on the recommendation as it's written, up or down, which would send it to the board. So in effect, that would be,
So do we have to make a motion to continue?
you do not have to make a motion to continue. You know, it appears that the motion to continue will fail, which means you would then be left with making a motion to approve.
Right, okay. So we'll make a motion to approve. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion by Commissioner Johnson, second by Commissioner Schaaf.
Docket number 2014-6. Commissioner Johnson says yes. Commissioner Schaaf.
Because it doesn't meet number 3, no.
Commissioner Dorban.
I have to tell you honestly, I'm lost where we are.
Approve.
What are
We're making a
we?
motion
Special
to
use.
approve.
Wait, what?
We're making a motion to approve the special use,
As it stands?
as it stands,
With
Okay,
the conditions
I'm-
that were just
with the
With the
conditions that
condition,
were.
okay, yes.
Yes. Commissioner Powers.
No for reason same number 3.
Commissioner Zangara.
I vote yes.
And Chairman Rafato.
I vote no.
Okay, we have 3 and 3 and 1 absent.
I have the 3 yes as Dorban, Johnson, and Zangara. The
Correct.
3 no as Rafato, Powers, and Schaff. Is that correct?
Yes.
A tied motion is a failed motion. What that means is this recommendation, although tied 3-3, goes to the board for their consideration, the village board being the elected officials. They will consider this. The Village of Wheeling does not have any supermajority requirement for a failed recommendation. So this will essentially go as a 3-3 failed motion. The village board would then review it. The commission at any point can take up the review of the sign. The commission is the sign code board of appeals and therefore reviews the sign. A failed sign, if that were to occur, just hypothetically, if your corporate decision is to have the sign remain as is, and that if that motion were to fail, an appeal of a sign code decision goes to the village board if you choose to make an appeal. So there are a number of different ways procedurally that this could work out, but this particular recommendation does go to the board. I believe we are looking at, give me 1 second, I believe it's the 21st. April 21st.
April 21st.
The discussion of the sign, although no decision has been made on it, the discussion of the sign can certainly be brought to the board's attention and likely will be brought to the board's attention in the staff report. Procedurally, though, the sign does go back to this body.
So is this a good time to ask a question?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
If the board said the sign's not an issue, then it would come back here?
The sign is a separate docket. This body is the final vote on signage.
Oh, okay.
The exception to that is if you disagree with a decision of this body and have to appeal it up to the village board.
So the special use, this body, it's a recommendation.
Yes.
But for the sign, it's
That's correct.
the vote.
Right.
I don't want to take up any more time. I want to make you happy.
I don't think there's anybody else here, so don't worry about it.
I mean, I understand where you're coming from. And I was here, like I said, I personally was the one that came here originally for that spot.
Right.
Do you have a picture of our logo on the, and I'm just
Somewhere
trying to
here.
think. Do you see, sir, how it's got the black surround around it? That's an aluminum surround. If that was brushed aluminum, would that, because the big issue is the colors. I'm just trying to think something I can go back and have some sort of input or hey, they're kind of leaning this way, or some directional, I guess is
Well, the direction I sort of like the brushed metal that was on the inside.
the entire
But-
sign being
Yeah,
brushed.
I like that.
Just like it was for the Subway Cafe, I thought it would be, I said, oh, well, somebody got a neat idea, Subway Cafe, why not say Subway Metro?
Right.
Dump that.
But if that's going to be their interior design everywhere, there's really no point.
I don't
But we
care,
don't
let
know that.
corporate decide that. Let them go to corporate. Let them work with staff.
Well, we'll go back
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I appreciate your time. I know
That's fine.
we took up way more time than you.
Oh, no, sir, that's why we're here.
And again, I do not want you to think
Right.
any of my
Oh, no.
pushback was from me. We did ask the question and
Right.
it kind of was.
Oh, sure.
I was
I
thrown to the lions.
think it's incumbent upon us to give you some type of direction.
Sure.
We gave you some type of ideas here.
Okay.
That
Fair enough.
were given to you.
Okay.
Right, exactly.
Great.
Sure.
Okay, thank you so much.
Right.
Have a good night.
Thank you.
Two quick things.
sorry,
First,
sir.
I need a motion to close the public
Okay.
hearing.
Motion to close?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And then second, just procedurally, there were 3 commissioners on this body who felt that the character of the sign and the exterior character didn't meet the standard of a special use. If you take this in front of the village board, there is a possibility that some portion of the board may agree with that, in which case they could refer the whole thing back to the planning commission. So procedurally, the board could find that the question raised by the commission is a valid character question that needs to be resolved. So the board, at its discretion, can refer a public hearing item back if a majority of that body feels that the sign must be resolved. They could refer back at their discretion. Just so you know that there's the village board on the 21st during that discussion. If the sign is found by a majority to be a valid special use issue.
Okay, I got you. So you're saying that they may say we can't give you special use until the sign is resolved?
Yes, there's a possibility.
But it's got to get resolved here anyway.
It does have to get resolved here anyway.
Okay.
But the board may view the exterior image as part of the character and the aesthetic of this particular special use.
Okay.
And could find that it should be resolved. So I just want you to understand that there are a few different ways that procedurally the board could review.
So if the board approves the special use, then we could get going on the building permit
while you continue to
part, while
resolve
we
this.
continue with this.
Yes.
Okay, that would be ideal.
Okay.
If it's noted in there. So.
Right.
Only because we do the majority of our business in the summer months. And,
Sure.
And the
Understood.
The clock's ticking.
Right.
He doesn't want to open up in December.
Exactly.
Yeah, the best advice.
Especially if it was like one of these last.
Exactly.
The best advice that I would have for that then is try to have the discussion with corporate
Okay.
in advance.
And have an answer at that meeting?
An
21st?
answer prior to the staff report going out would be ideal. So the staff report goes out Thursday before the 21st.
So that's next Thursday, though.
Next Thursday.
That's next
You can have an
Thursday.
answer before
So
next
if
Thursday.
we brought in some ideas or whatever. Or
Have some sort of response that can be included with the staff report.
Or bring somebody from corporate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's in corporate's
Right.
court. I mean, they're going to, we're going to find out real quick. They're going
Exactly.
to work with it, or they're going to say,
Sure.
we'll find out. Okay.
Great.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much. All right, bye.
Do they have something to
Did I
sign?
print anything?
I think you might have something to sign.
Okay.
As we're doing that, we have approval of minutes for March 13th, 2014. All those in favor?
Aye.
Were those the ones I was absent?
No, I was absent.
Oh, you were, that's right.
And so was I. So do we abstain?
Commissioner Schaaf and Commissioner Rufato abstain.
All others are aye.
All those are aye?
Aye.
Yes,
Aye.
okay. March 20th, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Great. Other business, oh, you have other business?
I have no other business.
Is it going to be lengthy? If not, I'd like to, if it's going to be,
He
I'll.
says he's got no other business.
no other-
Oh, he's had no other business?
So Commissioner Dorban?
Just that the Wheeling Prospect Heights Chamber of Commerce is going to have a golf outing on July 24th. Watch later in the month for information on the Wheeling Prospect Heights Chamber website.
Great. Commissioner Zangara?
I just have two things. One
You only
is,
said one, so, sorry.
we had this, it's just kind of ironic, we had this big discussion, and then I drive home, and I see this big banner on top of Market Square that says gaming here.
You didn't see the board meeting on Monday?
I did not.
I think it's being addressed.
Okay, that was number one. And as for next week, I would not be here, but
I think there is, you want to discuss that, Andrew?
Sure. We have no items for review as of right now. We sent up we have a placeholder agenda that we tend to send to the board for the board packet. We keep that open in the event that we have a 1-week continuation on a hearing. So if there's no item for review, we will be canceling that meeting tomorrow.
okay.
Well, and actually, I wouldn't be here either. So would we have there would be 1, 2, 3, 4. So. Commissioner Johnson, anything?
No, sir.
Commissioner Powers?
Nothing, thank you.
Commissioner Schaaf?
Nothing but the Market Square signs. but that's being discussed.
Right. I just have one thing. Just today, I welcomed my 5th grandson into this little world. His name is Jackson Hugh, down in Dallas, Texas.
Congratulations.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you. If not, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Adjourned. Thank you all. I assume we'll have one.